Hello everyone and welcome to my session on Introduction to Q. In class 11th, we have studied some of the data structures such as list, tuples and dictionaries. Now in class 12th, we are going to learn another data structure that is a queue. In this session, we are going to discuss about the expected learning outcomes of this topic, prerequisite knowledge which is required for the queue, overview of the queue and the applications of the queue, how the queue can be used in our day-to-day lives. Now let's see what are the ELOs, that is expected learning outcomes of this topic. After learning this topic, you will become aware of a new data structure in Python, that is a queue. Also, you will learn the concept of queue. You will also learn the implementation of queue using list. We know the data structure list, so how the list can be converted into a queue, that you will learn. You will also get the knowledge of insertion and deletion of elements in the queue. You will also become aware of the applications of the queues, how queues can be used in real life examples that you will learn. Now in class 11th, you have already learned about the data structures in Python. There are many data structures in Python. You can see here. You have already learned list, dictionaries and tuples. These were in the syllabus of class 11th. In class 12th, you have to learn about the stack and the queue. In this class 12 syllabus, you have the stack and the queue. Today we are going to study about this queue. It is a new data structure for you all. Now it will be implemented by using the list. Now we are aware of the list and we will learn queue. Now queues will be implemented by using the lists. So you must know the difference between the list and the queues. Let's see. In list, you can add an element anywhere in the list, change an element anywhere in the list, or remove an element from any position in the list. You can see this is an example of a list. I can delete this 20, I can delete 30, or if I want, I can delete 40. If I want to add a new element in between this 20 and 30, that can also be done. But in queue, there are certain restrictions. All the elements get inserted at the end and removed from the start of the queue. Now this is the example of a queue. Now this list is converted into a queue with certain restrictions. Now insertion and deletion in the queue can be done from the ends. This addition can be done from this side. This is called as the rear end. So if I want to add the new element, then it can be added from the end. Suppose I want to add 60, then 60 can be added from this end. You can't add elements in between the elements or from the front. Also, if you want to delete the elements, then the elements can be deleted from the front end, from the start. You cannot delete the elements in between the queue. So this is the basic difference between the list and the queue. In list, insertion and deletion of elements can be possible from anywhere, from any position in the list. In queue, the insertion and deletion takes place from the ends, addition takes place from the rear end, and the deletion takes place from the front end, that is start. Now before starting with the queue, you must have the previous knowledge of some programming concepts. You must know the conditional statement if else. Now if else or the conditional statements are used to indicate the various conditions. Now the various conditions can be represented by using if, elif and else. So you must know how to write if, elif, else because we are going to use this conditional statement in Q. Also you must know about this functions, especially the user defined functions because we are going to write down the function definitions in Q. This is an example of the function. You can see the function definition and the function call. In the function definition, you can see here there are two parameters x and y. Also in the function call, you can see the two arguments 2 and 3. So you must be aware of the function definition and how to call it. After that, you must know the list and its methods. Now, the methods such as len, append and pop will be used for the creation of the queue. Len is used to find the length of the list. Append is used to add the element in the list, but it will be added in the end of the list. Pop is used to remove the element from the list. Now this is an example of the creation of the list and using these functions. You can see here. Initially I had written the statement for the creation of the list. Now since there are no elements inside this square bracket, so it is an empty list. So when I print the value of L, I will get this empty list because there are no elements in the list. After that, I have list A and list B. If I write the statement A dot append 4, then 4 will be added into the list A. Now you can see the output. This will be your output. You can see it. What we get is, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is added into our list. Now the next statement is A dot append B. Means now my list contains 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want to add B. B is itself a list. So this will be added as one of the element into the list A. Now see the output. Now this is the output when B is added. B is itself a list. So this will be added as one of the element of the list. So you can see now my list contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and a list containing 8, Rita. This is one of the elements of the list. Now if I find the length of this list, len of A, it will show me 5. Why 5? Because it contains total 5 elements. This 8, Rita will be treated as a single element. So the length of the list is 5. You can see here. After that, I have used the pop function. In this pop function, I had written A dot pop. Without any parameters, pop function if used without any parameters, then it removes the last element of the list. It means that the last element is the 8 Rita. Clear? So if I write the statement A dot pop without any parameters in the pop function, then it will delete the last element. And pop function can return the deleted element. So the deleted element is returned here. So 8, Rita is deleted from the list. Now it contains only 4 elements. Again, if I write the statement A dot pop 0. Now here I am specifying the index 0. You can specify any of the index of the list. So if I write here a dot pop 0 means it will remove the 0th index element, means it will remove the first element. You can see the output. The first element is removed from the list and the first element is 1. You can see here the first element is 1. So 1 is removed from the list. This last element is also removed from this list. Now if I display the value of A, after deletion, the final list will be printed. So only 3 values are left in the list A. 2, 3, 4 because 1 is deleted and the last element is also deleted. So you must be aware of this conditional statements, functions and the lists. Now let's see what is a queue. Now you can see a picture on the screen. Consider it as an example of a line of people standing one after the another and waiting for the chance to mark the vote. Now you can see if this person is standing near the entry point, then this person may exit a line at the first. Similarly, if a new person wants to join this line and wants to vote, then he or she can join from the end. It means that this line contains 2 open ends. One is for exit and another is for entry. The same concept is applicable for the queue. So let's see what is a queue. Queue is a linear data structure that follows first in first out principle, that is the FIFO principle, means first come first out. Queue consists of 2 open ends, one for entry called as the rear end and the other for exit called as the front end. Elements are added from the rear end and deleted from the front end. Now let's see some applications of the queues. In schools, we maintain a queue during the prayer in the assembly ground. We all know this. We maintain a queue at the petrol pump to refill the petrol or the diesel in our vehicle. It uses the FIFO technique, the first come, first service. Call center phone systems uses the queue to hold people in line until the service representative gets free. If there are many people on the line and if the service person is not free, then he keeps your call on hold. When we create a playlist for songs, then they are played in the order in which they appear. We know this. When the new song is to be added into this playlist, then it will be added in the end. Again, it uses the FIFO technique. It is an example of queue. When we give multiple commands for printing various documents, then the printer maintains the queue of list of elements to be printed and follows FIFO technique for printing. Now, if the printer has many documents to be printed, then it will print the documents in the order in which they appear. That is the FIFO technique. Now, when multiple jobs are to be handled by the CPU, then again it maintains the queue for jobs and uses FIFO. This will be used for the job scheduling process. When CPU has the list of many jobs, then the jobs will be executed in the order in which they appear. So again it uses the FIFO principle. So these are certain applications of the queues. Now watch the next video to learn in detail about the queues on my YouTube channel Python Scicon. If you like this video, kindly share it. Thank you and have a nice day.